Hi, and welcome after a long hiatus. Welcome to another episode of The Average Joe Hockey Report. In this video, we're going to renew what's it been, what, 1 year later or two, or whatever? Anyways, my 5 teams that are now the biggest mess in the NHL. This is new and updated, whatnot. At number 5, the Anaheim Ducks. So, before we go over the Anaheim Ducks, let me just go over what my criteria is for a team that's a mess. Basically, it's what I base it on is, prospect pool, asset management, um, youth development, um, you know, contracts, like if the team has bad contracts, and then direction, more or less. There probably might have been a few things that I missed in there, but yeah. Anyways, Anaheim, like they do have a good prospect pool. I will say this, like um, uh, where are some of the guys that are in ELCs? Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson, mind you, they selected Leo Carlson over Adam Fantilli, who was Fantilli was supposed to be the better of the two, but whatever. Between like I said, between Gauthier, Carlson, where's Mason McTavish? Yeah, Mason McTavish, um, whatnot. Like they've got good prospects. Oh, Beckett Seneca as well, and then I like Pavel Mintyukov. I like Olin Zellweger and whatnot. Lucas Dostal is a promising goalie too. Whatever. However, like this is a team that just never seems to take the next step for one, and two contracts like Alex Killorn, Jacob Trouba, whatnot has put them in the mess that they have. Yeah. So I like that. Pat Verbeek's done a decent job. Drafting. Mind you, though, when they drafted Seneca, it's like you drafted a winger. Meanwhile, Demidov was available. But I wouldn't say it's been terrible drafting. They've done a pretty good job drafting, but few bad contracts and the veterans that they gotten. It's like I don't know. It's just the direction that like like I say, I like the prospects, but the direction that they're going is a bit suspect at times. Whatever. It's like again, I like the youth, whatever, but like the veterans that they brought in is just nah. And then yeah. So at number 4, I have the Nashville Predators. I have Nashville because okay, where the heck is it? Here we go. Just because this is a team that's had very iffy direction for the longest time. They don't really have you know um, star stu- star-studded players before the off season, and they made quite the big moves in this for this season, but it's all been a disappointment. It's all been for naught. Um, they add like they've added in Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, and um, Brady Shea, and it's all for naught as they're one of the worst teams in the NHL. I can't remember where the heck they. Let's see. NHL.com, standings. League. Yeah, they're currently 30th and whatnot. And, you know, the teams below them at least have, at least the direction there is the rebuild. Whereas, like, Nashville, it's like, well, at least Barry Trotz is, has um, tried to put this team in a direction. And he did say, hey, if this is not going to work anymore, we're going to rebuild and whatnot. But, yeah, just the prospect pool's not there. The you know, David Poyle was, with his direction, it was questionable at one point. At least Barry Trotz is sort of tried to do something about their direction. It's still confusing though. So yeah, yep. All right. At number 3, we have the Buffalo Sabres. This is a team. At least there's, the direction is, try to. They have a prospect pool. I get what they're trying to do, regarding like drafting and whatnot, but like youth development's been spotty. It's just they seem to just draft players or whatever, and then end up just trading them away, and then they have to go back to square one. Haven't made the playoffs in 13 years. Everybody asks, when is the next step, whatnot, and I don't blame them for asking that. As it is, um, uh, they're asking, when are players like Peyton Krebs or Jack Quinn gonna take the next step? Um, uh, Dylan Cousins has a 7.1 a cap $1 million cap hit, only to put up a lot, only to put up lackluster offense. I mean, he's got 21 points in 43 games. They were hoping for better offense there. Um, uh, and I don't know why they gave up Matthew Savoy to Edmonton. That wasn't smart at all. It's just I don't know. They do draft well, but just the development and the and whatnot. It's just has put them in the mess that they are now. At number two, New York Islanders. This is a team that doesn't really have a prospect pool. Direction's been questionable. Like I said, when they hired Patrick Waugh, I didn't think Patrick Waugh's mentality, coexisted with Lou Lamoriello's. Patrick Waugh, I feel, is more an offensive-minded coach, whereas Lou Lamoriello seemed to wanted to give have a more structured team, whatnot. It's just I don't know. It's but just like there's well, I mean, I guess Dmitry Siplikovs look decent, but there's between that and some of the bad contracts that they have, and let's go over some of these contracts, on cap wages. At least at least they're I think I believe both Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri, are on the trade bait, but like Jean Gabriel Pajot, Pierre Engvall, Scott Mayfield, it's just I don't know, just terrible contracts. Um, team directions confusing, whatnot, and whatever. Yeah. And last but not least, I've got the New York Rangers at my number one. This is a team, ever since when Jeff Gordon was their GM, I felt they they had a direction. You know, they had a bunch of young prospects. In Vitaly Kravtsov, in Elias Anderson, in Alexei Lafreniere, in Adam Fox, in Keandre Miller and whatnot. Now, Lafreniere and Fox have done well. Shesterkin has done well, but Elias Anderson, I didn't like his attitude, but the Rangers could have also tried to work things out there. They didn't. Vitaly Kravtsov, same thing. When they had Barclay Goodrow, watched a video where Goodrow was being used as a third liner, and the guy thought he should have just been on the fourth line and whatnot. So yeah, and now it's just looked real bad. I mean, Chris Kreider is a trade rumor. I believe this is. Let's look at the trade. Yeah, Will Borgen's up there too. They just got him too, but yeah, Chris Kreider. I saw a few other players too, but it's just Mika Zibanejad hasn't had that great of a season as well. Vinny Trocheck. It's just between direction, youth development, and and prospect pool. Well, I shouldn't say prospect pool. Just those two together, whatnot. Well, yeah, they don't really have that good of a prospect pool anymore, whatnot. And yeah, it's just ever since the one time where Artemi Panarin got ragdolled by Tom Wilson. Jeff Gordon then gets fired, replaced by Chris Drury, and then what's happened since? I mean, you've had Ryan Reeves and Patrick Nemeth at one point. Now you got Matt Rempe, who I think doesn't belong in the NHL. And then, I mean, and now it's like, you trade away Jacob Trouba. Yes, his contract was bad, but I don't know. I didn't think it was done professionally. And then, Capo Caco wasn't happy when he was benched, so they trade him away because they didn't like what he said or whatnot. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's just looking. It just does not look good, and for the Rangers, this has been pretty poor youth development um, uh, for years now, and now the directions just look spotty, whatnot, and just yeah. This video is mostly based on opinion and may not have any implications on how these teams or players or whatever will do. So remember, if I'm wrong, don't belittle me, educate me. Take care, everyone, and follow my Instagram account, The Average Joe Hockey Report, and my YouTube channel, Marty Tommy, in parentheses, Average Joe Hockey Report.